What if there were no pills, no antibiotics, no vaccines, no antidepressants, no anesthesia? In this episode of What If History, we explore a chilling alternate world. A world where drugs never existed, not natural, not synthetic, no medicine, no mind-altering substances, no healing chemicals at all. How would civilization have evolved? Could we have survived as a species? From ancient shamans to modern surgeons, humanity has always leaned on the power of medicine. But in this world, we'll rip that away and watch history rewrite itself. You'll see ancient empires fall sooner, modern cities rot from disease, and culture evolve under the shadow of untreated pain. This isn't just a what if, it's a mirror showing how fragile our civilization is. We begin not in modern hospitals, but in the distant past, when humans first experimented with herbs, roots, and fermentation. In our timeline, early people used willow bark for pain, the precursor to aspirin, opium poppies for anesthesia, and moldy bread for infections. But what if none of those ever worked, or never existed? Without herbal remedies, early human survival took a devastating hit. Wounds get infected, pain becomes unbearable. There's no way to treat fevers, childbirth complications, or infections from simple cuts. Life expectancy plummets. Tribal medicine men and early healers lost their power. Culture shifts. Health is no longer a battle to win, but a slow surrender to fate. Religions take a firmer grip, as healing is now only sought through prayer and ritual. Science and medicine are delayed by centuries. The very concept of treatment becomes a myth. Major civilizations like Egypt or Mesopotamia may never grow large. Disease would constantly break their momentum. Without remedies, we may never even reach a population large enough to start the written word. Fast forward to the 19th and 20th centuries, a golden age of medical breakthroughs that never happened. No antibiotics, no vaccines, no insulin, no chemotherapy. Smallpox, tuberculosis, syphilis, and the plague continue to sweep the globe unchecked. The discovery of penicillin in our world saved millions. In this timeline, World War I and II kill far more soldiers, not from bullets, but from infected wounds. Amputations become the only way to stop gangrene. Hospitals are places of death, not recovery. There's no pain management. Surgery is done fully awake, with nothing but leather to bite down on. C-sections are almost always fatal. Childbirth becomes one of the leading causes of death for both mother and child. Life expectancy in 2025, around 35 years, roughly what it was in the ancient world. Medical schools still exist, but they're filled with mysticism, anatomy drawings, and guesswork. The stethoscope might survive, but without medicine, it can only diagnose, not heal. Organ transplants? Impossible. Without immunosuppressive drugs, every organ is rejected within hours. In this timeline, plagues don't end. They return, again and again. The Black Death wiped out over half of Europe multiple times. Cholera outbreaks shape cities and empires. HIV becomes a global death sentence with no antiretrovirals. COVID-19. It decimates the modern world, unchecked and unbeatable. Quarantine becomes the only tool. Nations seal their borders, terrified of invisible microbes. Travel collapses, globalization never happens. Governments become more authoritarian, justifying lockdowns as survival measures. Fear becomes the defining political force of the 21st century. Hospitals are overwhelmed. There's no pain relief, no sedatives. Cancer patients die in agony. Dentistry? Unthinkable. Without anesthetics, even pulling a tooth is torture. Medical professionals become morticians in white coats. Trust in science fades, replaced by fatalism and folk beliefs. The Enlightenment may never happen, or if it does, it's drowned in waves of incurable disease. Drugs aren't just for healing, they're also for feeling. In our world, substances like alcohol, caffeine, nicotine, cannabis, and even LSD have shaped entire cultures. But in this alternate world, they're all absent. No morning coffee to wake up, no alcohol to celebrate or numb the pain, no nicotine to addict millions, no ayahuasca for spiritual rituals. Without mind-altering substances, art, music, and literature evolve differently. No jazz fueled by heroin, no psychedelic rock, no beat poets or surrealist painters. The emotional highs and lows of creation flatten, culture becomes more rigid, more mechanical. Mental illness explodes without treatment. No antidepressants, no antipsychotics, no ADHD medication. Suicide rates soar. Families and institutions collapse under the weight of untreated trauma. Neuroscience stalls. With no tools to alter brain chemistry, mental health is seen as a weakness or moral failure. The creative revolutions of the 20th century, from Woodstock to punk to hip-hop, may never exist. This world, lacking all drugs, is darker, but not without its strange adaptations. Humans become more physically resilient, or they die. Natural selection becomes brutal. Only the toughest survive, and their children inherit stronger immune systems. Societies turn inward. Medicine becomes spiritual rather than scientific. Temples replace clinics. Priests replace doctors. Technology outpaces biology. Prosthetics advance while diseases go untreated. AI performs surgeries we can't even numb. Ironically, death becomes more accepted. In this world, the line between life and suffering is blurred. Without medicine, people die younger, but perhaps live with more urgency. The culture becomes more fatalistic. Art, religion, and ethics revolve around embracing death rather than defying it. Some societies may even abandon the pursuit of health altogether, redefining strength as endurance through suffering. Drugs saved us, but they also complicated us. They gave us decades of extra life, transformed mental health, and revolutionized civilization. But they also sparked addictions, black markets, and the rise of pharmaceutical empires. Without drugs, humanity would be smaller, slower, and far more fragile. But perhaps, just maybe, we'd also be more united in the face of pain and death. Let this be a reminder. Our modern world is built on things we often take for granted, like a simple pill. The next time you open a bottle of medicine, think about how history would have crumbled without it. And then imagine what we could achieve if we used drugs wisely and justly. If you found this video thought-provoking, like, subscribe, and tell us what's your what-if question for history. Drop it in the comments below.